My understanding of a godly woman. She has the imperishable quality of unfading charm of gentle and a peaceful spirit, one that is calm and self-controlled, not over-anxious but serene and spiritually mature. Her speech is gentle and full of wisdom. She is hardworking and passionate, and above all, has a giving nature, a natural caretaker. She's beautiful because she radiates the love of God. She strives to be a reflection of Jesus Christ. And truth be told, there are days when the world may try to take her down. She may be lost for a while, but with faith and courage, she gets up again, and there comes a new growth and a new life. From the time I had my spiritual awakening, God has immensely worked on me, on my heart and spirit. My growth and journey is 100% influenced and worked by Him. And today I'm here to share with you my story, my journey. I think, firstly, before I jump right into it, it's important that we acknowledge, more often than not, we fail to acknowledge God in our success. It's never luck, it's never by coincidence, it's never you. It has always been God. Let's try not to put ourselves on a pedestal, for when the time is right, He Himself will lift us up. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Scholastica Atieno, and if you want to be part of this beautiful family where we dream, believe and make it happen, please be subscribed. Yes, be subscribed and turn on the notification bell. And welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in for today's video. Actually, from the intro, I don't want the video to be as emotional as it has started, but I just want it to be more informative, more educative and inspiring in a way. Like, if you're out there and you're really striving, you're really going through what I went through, like, this is just the right moment for you to not give up and pick yourself up, dust yourself and start the journey. Just do it. If I made it, if I did it, you can do it also. So, first thing forward, let me just take you back how it all started. It started in 2020, where COVID hit. It hit everywhere, obviously. So I was in the moment of contemplating, like, is this where I really want to settle in? Because education stopped, everything stopped, like nothing was going on. So you have enough time to actually think your life over, think through everything you want to achieve, like, just strategize yourself in your dreams, in your ambitions. So I was at the point where I was thinking, like, is this what I really want to, like, do I really have to stay here in Kenya just to, because I remember in my family, like, I wouldn't say family specifically, but people around me, I would say, like, people are really struggling to get jobs. Not even around me, everywhere. At this point, Kenya wasn't easy getting a job, if not a good job. A good job really matters, right? So you can get a job and it's not as satisfying as you should. So I was still thinking, like, is this where I want to be? So 2020, first things forward, 2021 we finished school. I stayed a whole year, a whole good year without a job. So I was like, and at the time finances was not as good as I really would want to, because obviously I wanted to go abroad. I wanted to just move out of Kenya, because, like, we all know, sometimes you'll just, there's that inner you that feels like this is not the place for me. Like, I really deserve more. I really deserve better. And so, what are the measures, or what can I do to just change this situation? I remember it was so hard. At that time, I was just surviving with these odd jobs. Like, I would do sales, I would do marketing, I would do kazi kwa vijana. Like, at that time, I didn't even choose which job I'm doing or which one I will not. I was just, I really need to survive. And at the time, you don't really want to be a full dependent, because you've already finished school. So you're supposed to start supporting, not people to continue supporting you, if you get what I mean. So 2021, no, October, I applied for my passport. Yeah, at that time, my real desires was to go to Qatar. No, let me explain. So I wanted to go to either Europe, right? But at the time, finances was not allowing because Europe from Kenya is way too expensive. So the only option I was left with was Qatar. Or but one thing I knew, I wouldn't go to Saudi Arabia. Please, girl, no. So I was like, I really want to go to Qatar because at that time World Cup was coming, so I knew there would be a lot of job opportunities in Qatar, right? So I started applying for my passport. Luckily enough, I got my passport as early as possible. So I started the process of applying to Qatar. Mind you, it wasn't easy. We would go to interviews after interviews, job search. All these agents in Dubai, in Nairobi, sorry, all these agents in Nairobi tell you me, I've been to all of them. I know all of them. You can ask my friends. So we'll do interviews almost, I would say, like 3 interviews per week. That is to say the least. To say the least. And you'll be rejected. Some interviews you're not even getting feedback. Some you even pass, you're qualified, but then your visa is not being released. So many inconsistencies, so many back and forth, so many challenges. Remind you, this is November, right? November 2021. The cycle continues until April 2022. So I was like, what? I never knew like relocating to a different country is as hard as this. So fast thing forward, towards end of April, I was tired. I was just done with Qatar. I was like, if Qatar doesn't want me to come, so I'll just change, because if one thing is not succeeding, you can just change to another closer to what is your desires, right? So I changed and I was like, let me try Dubai, because Dubai seems easy since it's a big tourist attractive country, so we can easily access it. I'm still going on with these agents. So I met with one agent who, there were so many dreadful things, which if I was wise, I would just count them as red flags and just abort the mission. But one thing for sure, at this time I was very desperate. I was so broke. I was crying every night. I was like, what is happening? And I tell you guys, if not God holding me down, if not God giving me the peace, the courage, and the humility to just wait, humility and patience, like it was so bad because I really needed this so much. I was like, God, I'm not getting any younger. How come you're postponing my process? Why are things not just falling into place? Why do I have to go all through this? Because I see some and it's really wrong when you start comparing yourself. Because I was like, God, you're making it happen for other people. Why not me? I know I'm a sinner, but please, these are the things that were, forgive me, guys, but it's normal. We are human, because when you really want something so bad and then it's not happening, you get the feeling, right? So first things forward, on May, I met this agent. Everything was just red flags. Everything red flags. So she promised us she'll give us a job. We'll get her an accommodation for 1 month. She'll process our visa and tickets to Dubai. We are so excited, me and my friends. So we are three. We're so excited. We are going to Dubai and we'll get our visa within 3 days, which we did. We got our visa within a week. That was a good sign. We were very, very happy. But then now coming to Dubai was the process. It was a long story. Let me just cut it so it doesn't get boring. So we're in the airport. We are very happy. Look, you can see. First, she boarded the most basic airline you can ever know. I wouldn't say it as such, but it was so basic. The only thing she gave us, we received on the flight was water and shawarma, if you know shawarma. But at that time, that was not even important for us. As long as we are on flight, as long as we are boarding, as long as we are going to Dubai, that was the real thing. So we got to The airport, mind you, it's not Dubai. We are in Sharjah. Sharjah is another emirate of UAE. As you all know, UAE has different emirates. So there's Sharjah, there's Dubai, there's Abu Dhabi, there's Ajman, like that. So we found ourselves in Sharjah airport, not Dubai airport, as agreed. Secondly, there's no one to pick us up from the airport. Thirdly, there's no accommodation for us. There's no job as we were promised. There's nothing, 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 totally nothing. We are here to start over, to start afresh. And here is where God comes in. If I tell you, if you're wondering why I keep mentioning God, please allow me, because I wouldn't tap myself and say, damn, I did it alone. No, it has not been easy. It has not been me. It has all taken the hands of God. So here we are. We have to look for accommodation. That is extra 16,000 Kenyan shillings. In Dubai is like 500 dirhams for a bed space, right? Because at this point you're not choosing. You don't have the luxury to choose. You don't have that opportunity to even pick this one and this one. You are desperate. You need accommodation as fast as possible. So there's this woman who was coming to pick another lady in the airport through this agent that we used. So we just convinced her to take us in, but she's telling us we have to pay these 500 dirhams, which is equivalent to almost 16,000 Kenya shillings. Mind you, this is the cheapest accommodation you can get in Dubai. So we are like, it's okay, we don't have anywhere else to go, so we'll get in. So we arrived in this house. We started applying. We are applying day in, day out. We applied jobs like our lives depended on it. In Kenya, I was saying I was applying for jobs. I wasn't. Like, I think if the situation is tough, you get tougher. We were applying like 200 jobs per day, because we met this friend who told us if you're working, you would work 8 hours straight at work, right? Or 9 hours, depending. You dedicate all your time in working. So assume you are now working and your full-time job is applying for these jobs. So we applied full-time. We applied. Luckily, after 2 weeks, we started being called for interviews. My friend, she did 2 interviews, and it was so lucky for her. She got a job immediately. She went for only 2 interviews, and then I think it was the 3rd week. She went for the first interview, she got qualified, she was called, and then the second interview, she got qualified, she was called. So she was just so lucky. She had to choose which one she wants, so she went for the second job that called her. So for her, by 1 month, she already had a job. She was already good. So we are left 2 of us looking for a job. And then I got the job next. But the job I got, oh my god, it was all good. I would say it was God working. Just God working in my life, because you didn't say even if you come together as friends, your journey will be same. No. Your journey is totally different. You are an individual person, and every person, their story is written differently. So I got this job. It was so good. It was. This guy told me this is a government office. It had all the name of the sheikh. It was a fancy office, guys. It was so good. A good office. There's food. We were being given food, good salary, and everything. So I was like, oh, this is a good opportunity. Let me grab it. So I started working in this job, and then I'm sick. After 1 month, I got my salary very, very well. Like, there was no issues. I got my salary as agreed, like that. The second month, trouble started. Now I started seeing, like, this company started unleashing their true colors. Now you're starting to know, oh, so this is not the same. This is not as I knew. So this is different. It should be like this. Oh, so this is what they're dealing with. Like, now getting my salary was hard for the second month. Mind you, we are supposed to be paid on 5th. I got my salary on 20th. On 20th of that was 20th of September because I got my job 1st of July. So June, July, August. Oh yes. So July I got my good salary, my first month salary, and then August was dreadful. It took longer for them to give me salary. I'm like, what is happening? Luckily, they gave me 20th, but at that time I was just exhausted. Mind you, they're still not processing my visa because in Dubai laws, you cannot work for any company without them processing your visa. Like it's in the labor laws that is mandatory, and it's illegal to even work with the tourist visa. So I'm still convincing them, please make for my visa, do this, do this. They are saying, oh, after your visa is finished, please remind us when your visit visa is almost finishing. So I'm like, okay, come the third month, September. I worked the whole of September. They never paid me. So I'm continue working, hoping I will get a salary October until October 20. Something 18th, 19th, 20, I don't remember clearly. So I worked September, no salary. No, this time they did not pay me at all. No salary. And then August, September, October. October I worked like half of October, no salary at all, no visa. I'm in a new country. I'm in a I don't have my family for moral support. I don't have like it was just me, myself, and God. It was tough. It was tough. So I just made the decision I cannot continue working for these people because I've already seen the kind of business they're doing. It's not relating well to my values and virtues. So at this point, I just made a clear decision that I will no longer be working with them. I just quit. I just wrote an email to them that I will no longer be working with you. And he said, okay. But mind you, I wouldn't consider this as I wouldn't say it was a bad thing for me to experience them, but because it was like an eye opener. Like it opened me up to what can be out there, like I was just thinking, oh, Dubai is so good. Like, yes, it's good, but as good as it is, there's also bad things about it. No bad things, or even bad people or cruel businesses, or just illegal businesses, if you get what I mean. So I wouldn't be as gullible again to be stupid not to look on the red flags, even in companies, even in looking for jobs, even like it was very important for you to be. Yeah, so because also this job gave me good opportunities because I met with high-end people. I will go for good corporate events. I will just go in good meetings with high-end people, the CEOs, the commissioners, the sheikhs. I mean, it just led me to a whole different opportunity. Like, I don't know, I just don't know why he this just their management was so bad. It just opened my mind to a whole different level. Meeting so high end people, you learn a lot. You just grow. So I left. Fast forward, I left this job, and now I had to stay again, back to applying for jobs. Sorry, I forgot to mention, by this time my tourist visa is already finished, so I have to renew it with an extra cost of 1,300 dirhams. In Kenyan shillings, that's about 48,000. Mind you, I have to pay rent, I have to eat, I have to cater for my transportation to these interviews which I'm looking for. And at this time, I was going for so many interviews, I can't even recall how many. Like, it was really hard fending for yourself and supporting yourself without a job in a new country. This was just God. This is the reality of Dubai. This is what people don't tell you, guys. This is what people don't tell you. And it was so hard again. I remember I would go back to cry again, crying every night while applying. But at this point, my all my friends got a job. They were all comfortable. Only me, jobless. you can know that there's also that pressure, not peer pressure, but it's like, God, we came together, how come I'm still not settled in? Like, there are those, all those emotions rolling through your head. How come my journey has to be this hard? Why I had to face all this? I'm not as strong as you thought I was. God, please relieve me of this stress. So luckily God was faithful enough. After, so I left the job in October, November, and then December 4th, I got a job again. God was so faithful. Like 2 months, 2 months without a job, surviving in a new, different country, alone. No family, no relatives, no anything. Alone. This is God. So I always praise God because I'm now settled in. I'm now happy in my job. I'm now at peace. God just gave me a good job that my heart really relates with. I'm benefiting at my job. I have a good job position. I have a good working environment. Like, everything is just flowing, and I see God every day in my life. So this is just to encourage someone out there. If you are at the verge of giving up, if you are, if you're going through the challenges, the same challenges I went through, or even different, or even worse, best believe that God is able. If you believe that there is a God, that is. But also, one thing is important is to acknowledge that you cannot do it alone, and you need God to walk you through. And also acknowledge that our stories, our journey is different, and allow God to walk you through the purpose that He has envisioned for you. Don't look at others and think, oh, it should be like that. My journey should be rosy like that. My why she's having it and I'm not. It's our journey is totally different. And most of the time, we fail to acknowledge that God is the hero. It's never luck. It's never coincidence. It's never your hard work. So most of the time, I'm mesmerized by people who say, "I'm self-made." Oh, I'm self-made. I got this. I got here by my. I'm. I'm sorry to say, I'm not bashing you, but yes, we are all hardworking. You didn't say no one out here is hard. Everyone is hardworking. Not as hard as you are, but everyone is trying their best to do something for themselves. But you cannot do it alone. You have to know that there's always that person behind you that is steering you up. That is actually, God had already written your purpose. God had already written your purpose, and He did it just so He can exalt Himself in a human form through you. And if He has given you that platform, if He has given you that opportunity, and you're not acknowledging that He is the one who did it publicly, then it's just not fair to God. That's why I wouldn't be seated here and be selfish that, oh, I did it by myself. I was so hardworking. I was so passionate. I was like, I cannot. Yes, I did it, but I know behind it there was someone powerful, way too powerful above me, that enabled me to be at this place. And it's not like I've already made it. I wouldn't even tap myself and say I've already made it. Like, I have a long way to go. But just, I'm seated from a place of gratitude in that I acknowledge my journey. I acknowledge where I've been. Acknowledge where I was crying every night. I acknowledge where my heart was shattered. My dreams was like, I cannot make it. But then God kept tapping me and telling me, you can make it, you will do it. And seeing myself here, not even where I want to be, but just being just in that stairway on my way up, I'm just glorifying God because I know if not Him, I wouldn't be here. So I'm just sharing my journey to encourage people out here, and just me being this vulnerable. At some point, I really wanted to cry, but just looking back, but but I know I have to be strong for someone who's still going through what I went through or even worse. So I just have to be strong for you guys and just take my story as a way for you to move out of your comfort zone. Do something. Fight. Remember all the rejections, all the interviews I did for Qatar. Nothing was opening up. Nothing was but I never gave up. I never, even coming here, we still found there was no job. I never gave up. We never, like, you still push, you still push until you get. By the way, if your dreams don't scare you, you should be asking yourself what you're doing wrong. Your dreams should scare you. You should envision yourself big, because God is not a small God. God is not a small God. Because how come there are people who, me, I always ask myself, no one is better than the other. In the eyes of God, we are all equal. So if God allowed Mark Zuckerberg to be as big as he is, then it means I have all the same opportunities. Just the difference is we just don't push ourselves enough. Our You can be as big as you envision yourself. You can be, I'm not saying you will be Mark Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos, no, but you can be as big as your dreams are. Let your dreams scare you. Dream, even if you're envisioning, like, how come I'll be driving a Mercedes? Yes, you will, if you just put in the work and if you continue seeking God diligently. Allow your heart to be moved by God, allow your hands to be moved by God, your energy, your spirit, everything should just be inclined to God. And having the faith is the only thing that moves mountains, because you can be as hardworking as an ant. The ants, they are always hardworking. They are from here, they are here. But if you don't include God, the farthest you can go is just building an ant hill. But if you include God, you'll be climbing mountains. You'll be, like, it will be as big as God is. But if you exclude God, you'll be working hard, but just as an ant. So my parting shot is just to encourage you guys, and I wish you all the best. Please don't lose hope. Please don't be discouraged. Take my journey as your motivation, encouragement. Yes, and believe that nothing is impossible. Dream, believe, and make it happen, just as our slogan says, right? So, I love you guys. Praying for anyone that's trying to be better, whether you're trying to elevate spiritually, mentally, financially, relationally, or whatever you're seeking improvement in. Doing the work to transform into a better version of yourself is never easy, and test hits harder when you're putting in the effort to do better. Be easy on yourself and know the transformation isn't a single event, it's a process. When you reflect on your past, I pray that you will take the lessons and leave the guilt aside. Honor where you're currently at and get excited about where you're headed. God got you. You got this, girl.